All right, guys, welcome back to the show. February 10th here in Iowa. I'm Nathan Creeps, joined by my co-host, Mr. Big Daddy Bortscheller. This is actually our fourth or fifth time trying to record this single episode
Yeah.
due to the app we work on here, Squadcast, was giving us all sorts of issues last night.
Yeah. And for the people that always say, like, you guys talk about your personal lives too much, we've probably heard each other's weekend recaps 5 times.
Yeah, so you're not going to get much of our personal news today because I'm sick of hearing about Bryce golfing on Sunday.
Yeah. If you were wondering, I did golf on Sunday, and that's all we're going to say about it. It was freezing cold, and it sucked, and we missed it by like 1 day.
So, yeah, for the people thinking or for the people begging not to talk about personal lives, we're going to get into today's episode. Actually, first, dude, sorry if I sound sluggish. When's the last, do you take NyQuil very often?
Not really. No.
Oh,
Benadryl now and again if I got some allergies going, but
dude, so because of my eye
feeling
issue,
groggy?
oh my gosh, dude. So because of my eye issue, I took NyQuil last night just to get one full sleep for once, just to knock me out. And I must have took too much of it last night. I have the weirdest state I've ever felt in my entire life today. I probably shouldn't have been driving a truck, but I've had diarrhea, just sluggish, man.
Ooh.
Dude, I'm never taking that crap ever again.
Yeah, that's goofy. I wondered if you were going to go the route of being sluggish because I do get that sometimes from Benadryl. But yeah, NyQuil is pretty far and few between, and thankfully because we haven't been sick.
I know they see. Yeah, you usually only take it when you're sick, but I was just taking because I was so desperate last night, just get a good night's sleep, and I was trying to sleep prior to that, so I was a little sluggish before I took it, and I just guzzled it, not really looking at what I was supposed to take. And God knows how long that NyQuil has been sitting in that medicine cabinet. I don't know if there's an expiration date on it, but dude, I don't know, messed me up. But we're shaking out of it. We're gonna get out of it today. Today's episode is powered by MediaCom.
It is, and MediaCom has a great deal for you if you live in Cedar Falls or Waterloo. Get 1 gig of internet for $50 a month and lock in that price for 3 years. You'll get Eero Wi-Fi, equipment, and unlimited data all included. Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents can call 833-354-0574 and lock in your price with MediaCom for 3 years. That is 833-354-0574. Offer is only available for Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents for now. Nate, we have a really good deal coming up. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a brand new deal for, I believe, the whole state. Taxes and fees are extra. Call for full details.
Glad I'm excited for the rest of the people to get to experience.
Yeah,
This awesome
really
deal.
cool stuff coming. I think it kind of starts in Des Moines and Cedar Rapids, but then it's going to kind of expand throughout the entire state. So
Yeah, I've been raking the benefits off it the last couple of months, and hopefully when they expand this deal, they clone Jeremy. So like you guys can get like a Des Moines Jeremy,
so
so you can
everyone
get
gets
that
them. Mm-hmm.
18 years of customer service that he provided at my doorstep that one day was just magnificent. So I would hate someone to get MediaCom and not get Jeremy on top of
Yeah,
that.
that package is just better together. And it just feels like, in general, MediaCom service has really stepped up. And I hope everyone gets to experience that. And if you maybe had a bad experience with MediaCom in the past, things are really ramping up. This Eero is, this little box is sweet. The internet's fast. Nate, you've been getting tons of victory royales. It's going to pay off. So check out that deal, Cedar Falls, Waterloo. Hopefully we have stuff for everybody else coming up soon.
Yeah, no, they've definitely been working. I see their vehicles all throughout the state. I probably saw 3 or 4 of them. So they're ramping up as long as they're ramping up just like this warm weather is right now. And that's going to bring us to our weather facts, Bryce. So we intended to do this podcast on a Monday, which was February 9th, but due to the technical issues, we carried over to Tuesday today. But we're sticking with the weather facts on February 9th because it was so damn beautiful. You guys broke a record there in Des Moines at a high 62 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
which is, oh God.
It's
Dude,
so nice.
life is so much better when it's mid-February, it's above 50 degrees, and your basketball team is once again relevant. So
Yeah.
I'm just a happy person right now. But without further ado, Bryce, February 9th, weather records prior to yesterday, the record was 61 degrees set back in 1976. That no longer stands as a 40 or 50-year record comes to an end. The lowest ever recorded was negative 24 degree Fahrenheit set back in 1899. Most precipitation, zero point 0.7 inches in 2001. Most snow, 6.3 inches set back in 1960. Your average high is 34.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This is my favorite part about doing these weather facts right now is seeing the average high slowly keep
Yeah.
creeping each week after week. So, man, I'm just happy. I'm a happy guy right now.
Yeah. We're in the golden hour of the day is getting longer. The weather is getting a little bit nicer. Nate, I think that I kind of predicted that winter was over 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, you
and
dude, you had the prediction
fingers
of the year.
crossed.
I was low key kind of pissed at you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that, Bryce, but I think you're onto something here because here, let's actually look at the highs here for the next week and a half in Des Moines. You had a high of 46 degrees day, and then it goes 47, 49, 51, 51, 50, 53, 59, 48. That's going to bring you past the upper half of February. And once you get towards like mid the 3rd of February,
I mean,
you
you're not going to look at too many more negatives.
no,
Maybe a little snow here and there, but
you'll get the
we're
snow.
definitely on the up and up.
You'll get the snow. There's no doubt about it, but it's going to be gone in a day or two.
Yeah, you're going to get that southern Iowa snow. So there definitely is a divide between us in Des Moines and you guys up north. It feels like it's been that way all year. A couple of times I've gone up north, kind of where you guys are at, and we got to witness a white Christmas where it was all brown around Des Moines. But I believe pretty much the entire state, once March rolls around, will be able to have kind of what we have going right now. Nate, when we booked that tea time, we definitely were banking on the fact that we got like the 55 and 60s. We're already looking ahead again at another tea time this weekend. And I feel like it's going to be the same scenario where we're playing in too cold of weather. But can you blame us? Like, life is just better. Like, the optimism you have that you might not have to be cooped up inside all weekend. Can you really blame us?
No, I can't. And I was giving you some shit the other day. You know what? I'm going to stick with that. It was 39 degrees. I know you guys booked ahead, but I would have canceled at that point.
Oh,
Commitment.
it sucked. It sucked.
When
It was terrible. And we're not getting into it because we already talked about it too much, but we were not the only crazy people out there. Everyone's fiending to get outside. And it looks like we got that stretch coming.
I know. I drove by. I was delivering Van Meter today, and I drove right by Waveland, coming back through Des Moines, and I was like, I just remember the most perfect day of golf we've ever had for my bachelor party back out there. So I'm itching to get back out there.
I would love to get you back out to Waveland and just any course in Des Moines in general. Speaking of, we're recording a day later, partly because of Squadcast and technical difficulties, but also because the Iowa Chill you told us to go tour just kicked off. So go check out that video. But I'm also putting together the Iowa Chill Golf Season 3 playlist and the schedule for this year. So hopefully get you involved in some of those videos. I've got you penciled in for 3. And I would love to do a couple more if you're available. So, yes, I'm glad you got to see Waveland because every time I drive by, I get excited.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear more about the Iowa Chill Golf kicking off this year. I'm really into YouTube golf right now. So the fact that we get the golf and record
You're a
some
big
of our
DeChambeau fan, right? You watch him on YouTube?
good Grant Horvat, DeChambeau, you name it.
You're down the rabbit hole now.
Yeah, Bob Does Sports is my favorite. I just love seeing
Yep.
the average Joe out there playing golf, and this is awesome because it's really going to highlight some of the best courses and just your average golf courses, which I love. Right, I love my average. I'm an average golfer. I love my average golf courses in the state of Iowa. So this is a really special side tour we're doing.
I think that's why the golf is fun because you get to show off the town, you get to show off somebody's course. The course is like kind of the landscape of the town, so it's really a fun tie into Iowa Chill. And definitely hope to do a few more. We've gotten a couple of videos out the last couple of years, but definitely hoping to do a little bit more on that front. But if you haven't, we went to Cascade a few weeks ago, and that video is finally live. And it's just fun to see our reactions from the pod about 2 months ago saying that there's no way gluten-free can be good, and gluten-free was delicious.
Yeah, shout out to Lane Kruger for putting that video together. That was a lot of footage he compiled into a 17-minute video. So it's not a long video. It's just a quick 17, 18-minute video. And like I said, we really didn't know what we're doing. We just kind of walked our way into it. And the Millers were grateful. And some of the best hosts I've seen, great Iowa hosts. So I had a really great time. Hope to see them again soon. Can't wait to kick off this tour when the weather gets nicer here. We can enjoy ourselves a little bit more in Iowa.
Definitely.
Rest, let's dive into our Iowa fact of the week. Well, I want to know who is the tallest Iowan ever. Well, that man is named Bernard Coyne, who's born in Aldo, Iowa, standing at 8 foot 2 inches tall, and he lived from 1897 to 1921. There's some reports that actually said this man might have been 8 foot 8 inches.
And it's 1897. Who's going to tell you that you're wrong?
Right.
Like there's no way to fact check it now.
Bernard
was crazy tall.
Bernard was one of 20 individuals in medical history to have stood 8 feet above.
Yeah, we'll throw this picture up there. It is insane to see regular sized people next to this guy.
Ben McCollum and the Iowa Hawkeyes could have used Bernard for a down loan presence this year.
Yeah, I think we have on here about 117 years ago, the first Cyhawk game was played, I think February 5th of like 1909. And imagine Bernard on the floor there. I mean, he would have lived around that time. I'm sure he got some recruiting. That is so freakishly tall. I always like some part of you is like, I'd love to experience that, but I always feel for those people a lot too, because you can't live any part of your life that's kind of normal.
No, no. I've always thought about like how tall would I want to be? I think like the perfect height is like 6'4", 6'5". You know?
Yeah, any more than that, you
Yeah.
start to really,
Unless if I'm really trying to be like an NBA or like professional athlete, I'd want to be like 6'7" probably. But
yeah.
if that doesn't work out, I think anytime you're 6'6" and above, you start becoming goony. You don't want to get
Yeah.
in that goony face. So 6'4", 6'5" is probably the
I
perfect
just
height.
remember like Kels Feenstra couldn't shop at normal jeans
Uh-huh.
stores. Like he,
Oh
getting
man.
plain, you have to get the exit row. There's
Mhm.
just so many things that you don't even think about that would be inconvenient. And I can't imagine that Bernard had a lot of convenience at his 8'8" self.
Especially back in 1897. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
all right, on this day in Iowa, February 9th, Bryce, well, this person happens to be my hero because born in February 9th, 1960, was astronaut Peggy Whitson, born in Ringgold County. She became a NASA astronaut, was the first female commander of the International Space Station, and the American with the most cumulative time in space.
That's cool. I remember talking about Peggy a little bit last year, and we definitely did a little Iowa Chill spotlight of her. But it's cool. I would like to spotlight her every single year because she is the coolest female I think ever to live in Iowa, and we often overlook her. I think.
We definitely do. I wonder why did we do a podcast on February 9th last year? It was on this
You
day
might
and
have
I.
done one of this on this days in Iowa around her. Yeah.
Okay, maybe she just got done completing her space journey on this day in Iowa or stuff like that. I'm glad she came back around because she spent a total of 675 days and a couple trips up there to the ISS, which is the most days in space for an American and a woman. Longest single flight was 289 days back in 2016 to 2017. Spacewalks, well, she's got 10, totaling over 60 hours floating around there in
It's
space.
a long
So
time. I would not do well in space. I
I
know I
think I
said
would.
this once on the pod. I would
Yeah.
not like it one bit.
Oh, if Trump came to me says we need you to go to space, I would be up there so fast.
Have you heard that they're going to do a little bit more back and forth to the moon? It's the newest development from SpaceX and Blue Orbit and
Yeah,
NASA.
when they doing that?
I think it's kicking off like sooner than I think. It might even be this year. I'll have to fact check that, post edit, but
So we're sending
it's
someone to
coming.
the moon.
Yeah, we gave up on Mars, I guess, and we're just going to send people to the moon
Well,
now.
what I think then what we're doing is they're not going to touch on the moon, but we're going to send them to the moon for the first couple of times and send them back,
Okay. Yeah,
which is crazy because like, dude, we were doing this 50 years ago.
allegedly.
Allegedly, right? We need to be conquering Mars right now and taking over the
Yes.
Martians.
I think it's a much quicker trip, right? I don't know the days difference, but it's got to be a little faster to the moon.
What Mars?
No, moon to Earth compared
Oh,
to Earth to
oh
Mars.
yeah. Mars takes about 6 months, but once you get there, you have to stay an additional 6 months for the orbit to be correct, and then you got to get another 6 months back. So it's about a year and a half.
Oh yeah, that's a long trip.
Yeah, you go space crazy at this time.
Shout out to Peggy. Peggy's cool. I love
Yeah.
Peggy.
Yeah, legend. All right, we're getting the Iowa news, but we're gonna do a quick exercise here. This is a picture that was posted on our social media platforms a couple weeks back, and it's a seating chart on a plane
Yes.
of some famous Iowans, and you're trying to decide which seat and who you would like to sit next to. So some of the people may not have us on YouTube; they're listening on Spotify. In row, so I don't even know. You might have to tell me who this person is. I don't even know who this guy is. On CA is next to who is that guy?
Great question. I believe that is the only president to come out of Iowa,
Really?
Mr. Herbert Hoover. I think.
That's Hoover? That don't look like him.
Let me see.
Well, we might get fact checked on this.
Good.
I've never recognized this guy in my entire
I think
life.
that's Herbert Hoover. If it's not, people can comment.
Doesn't he look a little thick for Herbert Hoover?
I think Herbert was kind of a stout fellow.
Was he?
No, now looking at the 31st U.S. president, Herbert looks a little. Yeah, he's portly.
So you're confirming that CA is next to Herbert Hoover?
Yeah, and somebody can correct us, but
Okay, so that's an aisle seat, and right across from me, you have Audie Crooks at CE. Go down to CB, which is between Caitlin Clark and who is that guy?
I would think that's Elijah Wood, but
Okay,
again,
yes,
if
yes,
you
yes. I
yeah.
think you're right. Then you got CF, which is next to Sean Johnson. CC is the last person. I have no idea who that is.
Looks like a band member. And I'm going to go with I have no idea. I
Okay,
have no
so
idea who that is.
we got a random Iowa and a CC. Sometimes that's all
Okay.
right. Sometimes you want to sit next
Yeah,
to
that
a
would be
random
so
Iowa.
bad.
Seat G between Dan Gable and Jason Momoa. Seat D between Mr. Kutcher and John Wayne. And Seat H next to Kurt Warner. Bryce, where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in seat D between Kutcher and my boy. I think that'd be an awesome seat.
A little crowded. I'm trying to go for an Iowa seat here. So I kind of want to sit seat B, sit next to Caitlin Clark, not because I want to glorify her, because I want to ask her some questions about her boyfriend, why the hell she's with him, and if she needs help.
Okay.
But if I had to sit somewhere, it would be H, because I'm right there in the aisle. I have Kurt Warner to my left, and then I'll have John Wade to my right, and I have straight access to the bathroom.
You know what? I've never even thought of the fact that if you sit in the aisle, you get to double dip. But I'm going to stick with my answer. I like John Wayne and Kutcher, a couple actors that go down in history as some of the best from our state. And man, John Wayne was he was the guy back in the day. I like your choice though. That's great. Warner, Super Bowl MVP. That's a good choice too.
All right, Bryce. The big news coming out of Ames, Iowa. Post Malone and Big Jelly, or Jelly Roll, are bringing the big ass stadium tour to Ames here on Friday, July 17th.
Another huge concert announced for Jack Trice Stadium. They got Luke Combs in April. Now the big ass stadium tour. Jack Trice is definitely having some fun, but the running joke has been they better open up that bar for the concerts, because otherwise it's going to be a sober concert scene unless you bring your own beer.
I'm pretty sure they do for these concerts.
I did kind of see some comments.
If not, that's troublesome. You're losing a lot of money and you're going to piss a lot of people off. You have to. If you're going to a concert, you got to have some beers, right?
Yeah. I had to poke fun at the Cyclone fans in the comments. Somebody corrected me and said that for George Strait, they did open up the bars and served alcohol, but it's just a funny thought that you'd go to a concert and not consume anything.
I wonder if they're using some of that money towards like NIL collectives. Dude, that's a smart way. Like Kinnick needs to start having more concerts. You know,
I guess I don't know. Why doesn't Kinnick have more concerts?
God, they've had one concert, and that was CJ Beathard's brother, which I think was Tucker Beathard. They had a concert back then. I think it was a pretty good hit, and he wasn't even a big time artist, right? He was an up and coming artist. He was just happily the brother of the Iowa starting quarterback. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely
see it all the time. Saw Zach Bryan at the Big House in Michigan. Yeah, you see it all the time. So I would agree. Whether it's just revenue for the university or NIL, whatever it is.
I love that Jelly Roll and Post Malone are touring together. I like both those.
Couple face-tatted brothers.
Yeah, I like Country Post too. I enjoy him.
I do too. That F1 Trillion was a good album. Yeah, I think a great grab for Jack Trice in the state of Iowa. And gosh, I guess Corn 350 will bring in some artists. Obviously, State Fair. So we always make the joke that artists skip us on their big tour dates, but kind of a good year for concerts in Iowa.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Bryce, I want to extend an awesome congratulations to an alma mater of my high school, Bishop Garrigan, from the class of 2005. Head coach Matt Vitzum was announced as the new leader of the South Dakota Coyote football program. This is big news. It's a dream everybody dreams of, come from a small town, let alone playing for a a mid-major college program, a very well respected college program in FCS, and then now the head coach for the South Dakota Coyotes. So this is big news. He was the offensive coordinator for them last year. I'm not sure where their head coach went, but Matt got the called up. So congratulations, Matt. That's awesome to see, man.
That is awesome. Congrats to Matt. Nate, I already brought up this next one 117 years ago, about 5 days ago. We had the first Cyhawk basketball game played in 1909. I want to ask you again, How many points are you scoring in that first Cyhawk basketball game 117 years ago?
If it's a full 40-minute game and I'm in decent shape, I think I'm putting up 34. I'm
Yeah,
gonna, I'm,
lock it in. I think you're putting up Sturt's numbers.
I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
I've seen footage of NBA like highlights from like back in like the 1930s where they're shooting the granny shot. Dude, I might go for 40 if I'm feeling it. I'm hitting the threes and I'm in shape. It depends on if I'm getting calls. I don't know if they're maybe they don't even have free throws or fouls back in the day. They just tackle me every day.
We'll have
But
to double check that, but I would think that they would think you're pulling some kind of witchcraft if you do an overhand free
yeah,
throw, because I'm pretty sure they were doing underhanded free throws back then.
I'd be executed after scoring 30 plus points. That's not possible.
How's he doing this? 117 years ago. Another basketball stat before we get into sports news. Caitlin Clark's average made three in her rookie season was just over 27 feet, which is longer than Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young, known long ball three makers in the NBA. Now, her percentage wasn't great, but she was on average making longer threes than those boys.
That is absolutely absurd. I was an okay 3-point shooter at my absolute best, but I could not shoot farther than outside like a foot from the arc because I just didn't have the strength to get it there. You know,
Yeah.
the way she launches her body forward, and she's made enough to where she has the green light to continue to do it, right? So that's
Yeah.
incredibly respected. And Damian Lillard damn near
I mean,
shoots freaking a half court.
he's known for making like 30 plus foot shots. So very, very cool stat. I like that now opposing teams, this happened a couple weeks ago when USC came to town. All the guys want to shoot around at the Caitlin Clark 22 on the Carver Hawkeye floor. So I don't know. She just continues to do cool things, and I'm excited for her year three.
Yeah,
Healthy.
well, we didn't get a lot of her from last season, and Fever kind of made a roll there at the end with Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hall kind of getting hot. So just when you think basketball season will be dying down, I'll be taking a back seat to watching a little bit of Fever basketball in the WNBA. But speaking of basketball, this state's rolling. The
Yep.
state is absolutely rolling with Iowa State and Iowa. Iowa State now cruises to a 21-2 record after edging out the Baylor Bears 72-69 there night. They were up like 14 or 15 with like 2 or 3 minutes ago. Baylor made a last second scare, but it was never really in jeopardy.
No, it definitely scared some Cyclone fans that I'm friends with, and I keep telling them what I've been telling ourselves. I think if Iowa goes 50-50 in the Big Ten, that's great, 500. For Cyclone fans, just get those W's. It doesn't always have to look pretty. You had a 2-game skid, and now you're back on the winning train. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, you don't want to see the leads collapse as long as you come out on top.
No, this is the light part of the schedule. And you knew Baylor's just a physical basketball team. I hate playing physical basketball teams. I hate when Iowa plays physical basketball teams. I hated playing physical basketball teams back in the day. Whether if you're more athletic and fundamental than them, they just rough the game up and they make you feel uncomfortable. So it's
Right.
important just to go in and get that game, get it healthy, and get out there and survive and then move on. And I would say they took advantage of the schedule that's been laid out in front of them because they have a gauntlet coming up. They do have TCU coming up Tuesday. They'll play Mr. Brock Harding. Then after that, they really get into the thick of the Big 12, coming off probably the hottest team in the country as they go to Fog Island. No. They were to play the Fog Island. No, they come to Iowa State, not Jack Trice, Hilton Coliseum, the Kansas
Yeah, they're coming to
Jayhawks,
Hilton this time.
who just knocked off number 1 Arizona Wildcats last night.
Without Darren Peterson, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was sitting.
Yeah,
Which
the
is
blue.
That's a whole entire thing in itself. If that guy can stay healthy, he is the best player in college basketball.
I think if you're Iowa State, you're getting Kansas at the perfect time right now. They're on an absolute roll. They injected everything into their soul, into their fan base, into the environment last night to get that win against undefeated number 1 ranked Arizona. They're on top of the mountain, and no better time to knock somebody off when they're on top of the mountain coming to Hilton Coliseum. That place is going to be absolute rocking. A couple of massive games.
Great
And,
redemption opportunity, too. That first game was a barn burner in the wrong direction. Kansas scored a lot of points. Iowa State did not. So I'm excited. I think that's a revenge game that goes Iowa State's favor.
Yeah, and with Kansas knocking out Arizona last night, it makes it possible to win the Big 12 outright. It's now feasible. You just got to take care of business, beat TCU, and go ahead and it's the game of the year for Iowa State against Kansas. Don't look too far because over there in Iowa City, them boys are cooking. 6 straight conference wins, Bryce, for the first time in a decade under year
Isn't that
one of
crazy?
Ben McCollum.
Such a wild stat. We were really in the dark days and didn't even know it sometimes.
Like,
Feel good?
yeah, has he exceeded your expectations to this point? Or is this kind of where you thought the program might be?
I will say I always fully expected them to make the tournament and win a game. This team had already won a tournament game. And I understand, like, you go up another level, you get beat on by the Big Ten. I still kind of half expected these guys to make the tournament and win one of the games. So, yes, after seeing how the Big Ten was shaking up and some of the top tier teams look the way they look, I was a little bit nervous, but we've taken care of business. And that's one thing that we've been saying with McCollum is he has the boys ready to play, and he doesn't play down to competition much, and he just wins the games that you're supposed to. So I know that we're getting into more of a meaty schedule. That's going to be more of a test. But no, to answer your question in a very long-winded way, this is kind of where I hoped they would be. What
Yeah,
about
I would
your
say
thoughts?
exact. This is right on line where I thought they would be, and that's just respect to Ben McCollum. That's the high
Yeah.
expectations I have for him in year one, let alone bringing half his roster from Drake to compete in the Big Ten, having
Mm.
them at 18-5. I'm not dumped on it because that's how much I believed in Ben McCollum, and that's why I was so ecstatic when we got the full commitment from him as the new Iowa head coach. So things are right on line. The goals and objectives are still right there ahead of you, and this man deserves the world right now. But there's a lot of business left to be taken care of. He still has got to get that ranked win.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Surt's coming off the back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Week, and it's frustrating. You would think he's averaging like 29 points this last week in the contest that he would get the Big Ten Player of the Week outright. But when you have 20 teams in your fucking conference,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to get it outright. So that being said, it's still a massive award.
Yeah, I just like that he's heating up. I saw some growing pains very early in the Big Ten's conference games. I think that he's just going to adjust. That's the kind of guy he and McCollum are. They adjust to the next level, D2 all the way up to D1, and playing at a very, very high clip. I like him, Nate. I like him for at least one tournament game. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I like these guys a lot.
Yeah, this is the frustrating part is like people, they want this team to murder teams, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not built like the roster for Iowa State, where Iowa State can do that to some inferior opponents. I would say they find ways to win, and I care more about that coming
Mm-hmm.
in the March time, right? Just don't make things look too sexy. Just get in, get the W in advance, right? We already have more wins right now than we did all of last season.
Right.
So that right there is something to pat yourself on the back about and be proud about. Uh, Up next, go to Maryland Wednesday. Maryland came off a weird win against Minnesota, so hopefully we're not catching them at a bad time. And like I said, we make these games interesting. Go in there, get it done, get to a 7-game winning streak, and in comes the Purdue Boilermakers for the revenge game on a Saturday tip-off at 4 o'clock in Iowa City, and your boy will be boots on the ground for that.
Good. Hopefully, the entire Carver Hawkeye Arena going nuts. Great revenge opportunity. We get 2 of those this week. Kansas coming to our neck of the woods, and Purdue coming to our neck of the woods. This is that time maybe to get that ranked win for Iowa. But yeah, I mean Braden Smith, that whole team is just really tough. So
Yeah, my parents are coming down for that, so I'm excited. It's gonna be their first game of the year. First time ever seen Ben
nice,
McCollum
nice.
in action, live in action. It's a perfect tip off too. It's 4 o'clock and Saturday in Iowa City. You're not forced to get down there super early, but we'll get down there a little early. Have some refreshments at the Vine and make our way up to Carver Hawkeye and sold out crowd. So it's gonna be a lit environment. Always is when Purdue comes to town.
So that will be how you spend your Valentine's Day. I know that this is a
Yeah. Oh
tough
man.
holiday for us, Nate. Historically, we have not been the best Valentine's gift givers or just participants in the holiday in general. Is that kind of what you have planned for the Valentine's Day holiday?
Do it. We do it. I do it to myself every year. Slightly in the doghouse for this one.
Yeah.
And I didn't invite my parents. They said they were just coming down. I was like, okay, cool, yeah,
Your hands are tied.
yeah. And I told my wife, and she's like,
Okay.
wait, on Valentine's Day?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh shit, that's Valentine's Day. She's like, yeah. I'm like, crap. She was pretty chill about it. She's not that gooey about that stuff. So, but she's like, it would just be nice if you just thought about me during that day, which
Yeah.
100% right. I'm like, shit, I thought Valentine's Day was in the week after. So making up for it right now. I got some Other ideas planned, we might be going to Gallagher Blue Dorn next Thursday to
Nice.
see the Men of Choir perform.
Okay. Nice. Is that a theatrical performance or is that just like a cappella choir stuff?
A little bit of a cappella choir stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like up a girl's alley for sure.
Uh-huh.
That's something. Um,
How about you?
I don't think Darian watches this show. I just ordered her some roses. We've got a plan for a little date night that night. I'm doing everything I can. Just trying to make up for all the years that I've failed.
Yeah, I said,
I wish
it's
I was going to the
unreal.
Hawkeye game, though.
Yeah.
I wish I was going to the Hawkeye game.
Oh man, I messed that one up bad. Yeah, I just
Nah.
I'll learn one of these years. So luckily she's pretty chill with it. So sounds like you're on the right track. You got flowers ordered. And
Yeah,
everything,
no, it's a good start. It's a good
for you.
start. I definitely envy your day. I think that's going to be a rocking
Yeah.
environment.
Well, I was gonna ask her, but I took her to the Illinois game and how terrible that Iowa played in the Illinois game, and that was the only game of the year she saw and watched Iowa play. So she kind of pretty mopey about it. So I didn't ask her.
Mhm.
She wanted to come to this one. And then once I found out it was Valentine's Day, I'm like, "Oh, do you want to go to the game?" She's like, "I don't want your pity invite anymore." And I booked her. Then I booked her massage, and she's like, "I don't even want that." So I had to cancel that. And then it's
You're battling out from
oh
a
man,
little hole, and that's understandable. It happens, but I really am glad that you're going because we kind of need everybody, all hands on deck for that game.
it's gonna be a great atmosphere. I can't wait to document that day. All right, Bryce, let's wrap up this episode with the top 5 months in Iowa, and I want to hear a little bit how you went about ranking your months because I came to some problems where I appreciate more of like if I could do like a mixture of months, like the end of one month and the beginning of the next month in the one. I wish I could do that, but I didn't do that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And first and foremost, it's just like the level of enjoyment you experience during these months, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I just I went cut and dry. If I had to pick, I just went with the month and tried to put them in order best I can. I definitely have my top 1 and 2 pretty solidified. The other ones may be interchangeable, but pretty obvious. There's a few very good months to live here, be here, do things here, and I didn't stray too much from that.
Yeah, so, some months are just so unpredictable
Mhm.
at that sketchy time of the year. So go ahead, lead us off.
I'm going to lead off with July. And July is a great month. I really love the summer months. I think it's the time that you get stuff done. We're usually in and out. We have 4th of July here, then we go on a family vacation to Wisconsin because the reason it's not higher, it's very humid, very, very warm. So while it's a lot of fun, a lot of times you're deep into the stickiness of July in Iowa. So it would be higher, but
My number 5 is December. My only winter month to make the list, and you got to go through some bad times to appreciate the good times, right? And
true.
this December was better because we got the snow in November, and I need a white Christmas. And although we don't get it a lot, unfortunately, because it usually doesn't snow until January, but if you can give me like a 30-degree December with a couple inches on the ground, I appreciate that scenery, and I love it.
Dark Horse. Didn't expect you to go winter at all. But
Mhm.
I do agree there's something special if you can get that perfect mix of snow and Christmas scenery. Iowa's nice.
I'm gonna round that back up with my number 4, September.
Okay, nice.
You got football really ramping up at this time of the year. Beginning of September, this is where I want to do like an end September, maybe like early October. About mid September through the rest of September, you're coming to almost peak weather time in the state of
Definitely.
Iowa, and
Yep.
some of those state parks are so damn pretty.
I like
That's
it.
more fall. That's
September's,
more fall. That's my bad. I mean, it's more October.
well, I don't know. It's such, I think I like it so much, and you'll see it high on my list because that's that hybrid. You get summer, you get fall. It's a fun one because you get to mix both. So I see where you're going there. I'll follow back up with August. And August, again, would be maybe a little bit higher. There's so much going on. You have Corn 350 this year. You have State Fair, which is right in our neck of the woods, and I always enjoy. Lush Family Dental, golf outing. There's a million things to do on any given day in August, and I love that about Iowa. But it is hot, and it is sticky, and it impacts all those events.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you on that one. I absolutely
Yeah.
hate August.
August is tough for some people. I truly always would take a little bit of heat over being cold, even when you're in the middle of a 90-degree and humid day.
You've always been true summer boy.
Yep. Yep.
It's always been your go-to.
I will circle back. Let me make sure I got these correct. I'm going to circle back with May. May is awesome. May is when you know you're out of the clear. You get maybe a little bit of coolness early on in the month, but then you get all the green, the flowers. Tulip time in Pella was always the mark of like you're kind of like on your way to summer. May is a elite month in the state of Iowa.
My number 3 is June. June
Okay.
is your last. It's still summer. I love the summer, but it's your last like not super hot month, right? I feel like July and August can really roast you if it feels like doing so. I feel like June's your last break before you really get to the thick of the summer. For that, I love June. My number 2, Bryce, is October.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
could
Great
give me
choice.
the hoodie, sweatshirt weather, hell, I could. Football's still going on. The leaves are changing colors. The leaves are falling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! The mosquitoes are dead. I don't have to worry about them no more. This is the time of the year, baby. There's
Yep.
no better weather season than October.
October is special. It's going to get a pretty high spot on my list too, for all those reasons. At 2, I have a tie between June and September. They're exactly what you said. They're those in between months. You get finally real summer in Iowa in June. You start to take advantage. It's a slower event month, so it maybe would be like my top spot, but there's not as much going on. It just feels like go make the most of it being nice in this month. September gets the official nod at number 2 because Cyhawk, football every weekend, Labor Day. There's just a lot of great stuff going on. And my top spot, October, birthday month, perfect temperature normally. This last year we had an entire month that felt like summer still. It was still really nice, but you don't have as much humidity. Bugs die, campfires. It's an elite month.
My number 1 is my birthday month.
Is it really?
So clearly we're biased on our birthday months, but May is
No, May's great.
May is awesome, bro. You're
Yeah.
past the rainy bullshit of April. You might get a little bit here early in May. You can, I claim May as summer to me. Summer is like 4
Yeah.
months to me, and
Yeah.
it's the best part of summer to me, right? Oh, the weather's perfect. You're getting 75-degree sunny days every day. You're out golfing around. Flowers are perked up. I'm mowing my
Yep.
grass. It's green at this time because it's not in the late July, August bullshit where it doesn't rain no more. Things just look pretty. They feel healthy, and it's just the
Yeah.
time.
It's by far the lushest month.
Uh,
It's a great time to be an Iowan.
oh God, I can't wait for May,
Yeah,
guys.
I would interchange my top 3 for sure. There's special moments in all 3 of those, but there's something about the weather being great, being able to golf, and having football on that gives me those fall months a little bit
Yeah,
higher.
yeah, you're right.
I
You're
don't know.
right. There's a lot going on for entertainment purposes in October
Yeah,
for sports and everything. May's kind of like it's also healthy for me to take a step away from sports, and that's when my life
yeah, true.
becomes a little bit better.
Sometimes
But
that causes you stress, so I totally understand it.
yeah. So no
Nate,
shit.
I do think on this rating, it would have been fun to almost do a draft. So if I would have said May at some point, you couldn't have said May.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what if you feel open to that sometime in the near future. I know we've done a ton of top 5 segments, but I like the idea of doing some drafts.
Yeah, we are. We're running out of top 5 things to rank. We're now ranking months.
Yeah,
So
months of the year of Iowa.
yeah, we're gonna start drafting. Yeah, we could go back to some of our picks and do
I think
drafts.
that'd
I
be
like
kind of
that
fun.
idea.
I mean, it's nothing crazy. I know part of my take does like the Mount Rushmore. Bob does sports, does various topics. I think it's a fun little switch up.
It is. It can bring back conversation. Some of the things we brought up earlier, some of our episodes. I like that, Bryce. I like that a lot. You're a smart guy. You're a smart guy, Big Daddy Board.
Well, I have had months to think about this because we have been panicking, trying to figure out what to do on this show. But that adds a fun element because if you steal like October, I'm going to be pissed off.
All right, right. We can make it a little more competitive. Good. I like that.
Hey,
So I need to
I think,
go. Yeah, go ahead.
first of all, we got the show done. I never thought we'd get the show done, so
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad
did.
that we officially got it.
People, you have no idea what the hell we were doing with last night. We tried. We tried to get an episode out to you guys today. It didn't work in our favor last night. 4 to 5 times we had to hear about Bryce golf on Sunday. I was ready to blow up a golf course at that point. I'm damn near half a bottle of NyQuil in my system.
Yeah, you did pretty good, by the way. I know you started a little sluggish, but you came around.
Dude, just
go watch the first Iowa you told us to go tour. I don't know. I have nothing else. That's it.
enjoy the weather, people.